Hello, everyone. What's going on? My name is Timpedia, and welcome back to the TNT podcast. It's almost the holiday episode, but not quite. Haha.
We can still sneak some news in before you get to hear our awful opinions about the last year.
Yep. Second to last episode before the end of the year, theoretically. Another year, another batch of TNT podcasts. Let's go. But these podcasts all include this cast of characters, including myself and, on my right,
Friedman, also known as Andrew, but mostly known as Friedman.
and to the left.
It's always just Tyler. Always.
And across.
Sexually transmitted diseases.
Yikes.
Yeah, AIDS.
Right.
Oh
The big AIDS. Dude, your brother's never gonna invest in us, dude.
No. We all started getting professional, and then Aiden's like, no. Hold my
Not
beer.
on my
I mean,
show.
yo, if you want professional, we can do professional. Like, I
We
just,
could.
you gotta warn me
We
ahead
could.
of time.
We'll save it
Yo.
for 2022.
I
Alright,
say,
fair enough,
listeners,
fair
if
enough.
you want us to be extra professional, throw a freaking comment down there. Let us know.
You know what's the most
Yeah,
professional
and then
thing?
post a dislike so we can't
Damn.
see it.
Post a dislike.
Post a dislike.
You know what's the most
Dude.
professional thing? Seeing someone have a good idea and having it go well and go, that's my idea. I had that idea. This is my idea. Because Sony has seen how good Gamepass is and is going, hey, we're going to make a Game Pass.
Yeah,
No.
that's
If
not a
we're
bad
talking about
idea.
people being unoriginal here, both Microsoft and Sony were both listening to that one episode of the podcast where I said that Google's cloud gaming thing, pretty cool idea. I think it could work. Just Google's bad at this. They heard that and like, all right, this Friedman guy's onto something. Like maybe, just maybe, people don't actually want to pay for their games, but are fine paying for a system. But
I
anyway,
second
yeah.
this conspiracy.
I say,
I agree.
I mean, is what happened though.
The real thing, before we actually go into the details of the good and bad of this, I want to talk about how this is Bloomberg who reported this. The same Bloomberg who has 4 times consecutively confirmed the Switch Pro. Like, I'm always very hesitant about their video game related leaks because, like, they're wrong about as much as they're right. But the thing is, a lot of the evidence is pointing to them being right on this, especially if it includes basically just combining PlayStation Plus and PlayStation Now into a single service. Because we were seeing, I forget there was some title that would have normally only been PlayStation Now came on for both at the same time. So it's kind of indicating they might be trying to like stream internally. They're trying to streamline them before they announce that they're merging the products.
PlayStation Now sucks. Sony, I like you guys.
Yeah.
I've been a fan since the 90s. Your PlayStation Now sucks.
I don't use it. What's bad
Same.
about it?
Just fucking lags.
A lot.
Like the selection is cool, but like it's really a lot of stuff.
Like when I was on the old Warhammer 40K like kick that I was on a couple months ago, I was like, oh look, I can play 40K Space Marine on PlayStation Now. And Sony was like doing the whole, hey, try PlayStation Now with our free trial or whatever. And like it's like I was playing on a server on a different planet. Like
Damn.
seconds of input lag sometimes.
Okay,
Seconds.
Yeah, it's bad. Like considerable. And like you think about that, like I don't know if anybody know. Obviously, us 4 know, but man, 1 second of lag in any game is a considerable amount of time.
If my ping is double digits, I'm screaming.
I mean, yeah, true. I feel like anything over 30 is generally unacceptable.
Yeah. But
I
like
mean,
it's
maybe
like,
not realistic for a streaming service, but like still, you like the most I think you could probably get away with is like maybe a 150, and that's pushing it for an actually like for a consistent experience and one that's like not going to frustrate the player in any appreciable way. Like you can't have like 250 300 ping and still have fun playing a game.
It does
I don't
seem
know what-
difficult.
I'm trying to remember what genre it was for. There was one of the like so I got really big into like the modded handheld scene a couple months ago. And one of the big things is that some amount of lag on games is usually fine depending on the genre. And I feel like more modern genres of games are very require like quick reaction times. So for stuff
Yeah.
like that, I can definitely see it just like the way the service wants to operate and what products they're offering are just not like in line with each
Nah.
other.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's just not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Especially like, I don't know. We were. Oh no, wait, you weren't there. And I was gonna cite like, oh, when we went to oh, because you were supposed to go with us to Digital Press.
Yes, I was. I was sick that day.
So they were selling. I don't know if Fabio told you. They were selling or they were going to be selling CRT TVs.
Oh yeah, I remember talking about that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just like, man, the fact that people are still buying these fucking things are crazy.
Yeah. Talk about that input lag. What input lag?
It actually. Listen, when I learned I couldn't play Time Crisis on an HD TV, it actually like got me depressed.
I
Like, 'cause-
understand.
Yeah, because so like to get the setup right. So Time Crisis 4 came out for PS3.
Time
However,
crisis.
yeah. So here's the thing, right? For all of you at home, you probably know what I'm getting at. Like, you probably saw like a bunch of like shooter games, right? Like the NES Zapper, basically the same technology, right? Like basically where you pointed, it shot, right?
Yeah, you're shooting at the
But-
screen.
Literally shooting at the screen, and like it just reads it. Like it's by today's standards, it's just black magic, right? Really black magic when it's some simple technology. But like anyway, with the PS3, you had to fucking set up these like diodes, right? That were like a version of the Wii's sensor bar essentially. And it was ass. It did not read very well. And like you couldn't have them move at all. But the thing is, there were squares and they had to like be hanging at like both corners, so like it obstructed your vision. It just was bad. Don't recommend that game. Fucking HD TV suck. Oh yeah, can't play Guitar Hero on an HD TV. I don't care what anybody says. It's
There's
ass.
too much input lag on it.
There's just too much. Like you can like adjust it right to however much like you want, but like if you want that precision sound to like hit, it's difficult to find.
Gotcha.
Can I just say how funny
Yeah.
it is that we got to HD TVs from Sony working on a Game Pass competitor?
I mean,
because the
these are
input
all
lag is
connected
serious.
problems.
I'm not.
These
I'm
are
not
all.
saying
Yeah.
it's not. It's just
All
funny
right.
to.
So I'll chime in as I think the only person here who doesn't have Xbox Live Game Pass. I'm also not looking to purchase this either. So while I managed to already sell someone else on Game Pass, I'm gonna go out here and say this product isn't for me only because I have such a big backlog of games I'm trying to play right now. I don't actually need to acquire more games to play. Like looking at what's coming up, there's maybe one or two games where it's like I want to buy it this year, but I'm not sure if I get to play it, and I have enough games to fill up my time for like 3 to 4 years from now. So I'm actually at the point where it's like I'm kind of good. Like
No,
Lucy
don't be
posted-
an adult
valid.
about this. Don't
Yeah,
be an
I
adult
mean,
about this.
Nah, see,
no, I'm completely
this is a
serious.
product for me, somebody that has absolutely no impulse control.
Well, no, I'm gonna be completely serious. Like, I remember at the end of the PS3's lifespan, I was like, "Damn, there's a lot of games I didn't play, but I just bought a PS4." And now we just got PS5s last week, and I'm looking at my
Yeah,
PS4
brother.
collection, and I'm like, I've only gone through like a third of the games I wanted to play for PS4.
Nah, see, here's the thing. Here's the thing with the PS5 though. Honestly, best decision. Those
Oh, no,
PS4 games are gonna run like fucking smooth butter on
Oh no,
that
I'm not
PS5.
regretting it. Like part of the reason to justify getting a PS5 when there aren't any games I wanted to play for it is that I don't have a PS4 Pro, and having the ability to just finally play in 4K was like, that's fine. I'll just fast track this
Nah,
now.
man. Like, I have my PS4 Pro, and I would rather play it on my PS5 because of that fucking NVMe, bro. It's
Well,
so
I'm
much better.
super looking forward to jumping into Witcher 4 after the game I'm currently playing.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry,
what
Witcher
load
3, not
times?
Witcher 4. Sorry.
What load times? I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm so happy. I used to have to legitimately wait 2.5 minutes between dying and respawning.
Oh, I'm gonna use this as a segue because into something that wasn't listed, but I'm freaking out about it because it looks super nice. I showed Tim today. There's a special edition of the Last Wish book that's coming out. I should send it to you guys.
Oh
It
yeah.
looks fucking sick. It's got pictures in it. It's like a hardcover that like looks super
got
nice.
Hardcover, 7 whole drawings, and the book.
Man, shut the fuck up. It looks cooler.
And in the digital era, this shit is extravagant.
Look, I told, like I
True.
said to Tyler, I would think about getting the same thing or using it as a Christmas present for someone to get me. That's
Yeah,
the
no,
real get
someone-
is like, hey, this is the exact kind of slightly extra thing I wouldn't want to buy for myself, but for $30 it's reasonable for someone else to buy.
I'm
Oh my
literally
gosh,
gonna tell my
nice.
parents, be like, "Yo, this is what I want." Fine,
You know what we
because
all
they've
wanted,
been
Tyler?
bugging me. What?
We all thought we wanted a Diamond and Pearl remake.
No, you guys wanted me to
No.
learn my lesson, and I
False.
never fucking will. Every
I'll
time,
say,
every time Pokemon gives a slight hint of being good, I go and play it and find out that it's not.
you know, I think we've warranted enough time saying this that we need a montage. It's not gonna happen.
I kind
We're
of
too
do. I
lazy.
kind of want to go through and edit every bad take I had about Pokemon in retrospect.
I mean, it would be hilarious, but that's too much. That's too much time for us to commit on this. Maybe if we actually made some money off of this.
Look, at some point, I want to go through and cut together every transition we had for the Weeb shit into a single video and see how it came out.
Oh God, that's funny.
I just need
That
all the
is-
episodes downloaded. Anyway, so we're going to talk about why I'm actually done playing Diamond and Pearl. So I explained to everyone briefly while we were on Discord last week, but listeners, I want you to understand what happened. So I'm playing through Diamond and Pearl. I'm doing the usual routine of just catching everything and trying to raise a team of 2. Because in this particular game, where EXP share is always on, the way to get around that is just raise more than 6 Pokemon. So it's not that backbreaking. And I've said this about every issue in this game. There's always a solution around it that requires a little bit more of your work, but it doesn't break the game. Until I got to the 4th gym, where one of my Pokemon the opponent was attacking it and it missed 4 times on a move with 100 accuracy, and then my Pokemon critted every single hit in this gym. Why? Because, and just to bring you back to when X and Y came out, there was already a system called Friendship in the game, which naturally went up the more you battle with your Pokemon. And it was for any Pokemon that evolved like Crobat, Eevee into like Espeon, Umbreon. It all did this happiness/friendship stat. But then they added this stat called Friendliness, adding to the confusion. And this one was used for like the newest evolution. But the more you, oh my God, what did I call it? Not happiness, friendly. The more friendly you were with this Pokemon, the more likely it was to just recover from status conditions, crit in battle, like everything would miss. And it usually wasn't that bad, and you could avoid maxing out if you didn't want to put in all the effort. But in this game, they lumped these 2 mechanics together. So as long as you use a Pokemon, it's going to eventually get to this state where it just crits everything and it's fucking baby mode. Nothing can touch you. And once that happened at a gym, I'm like, this is bullshit. Like, I was gonna win this fight, but there was no strategy, there was no challenge. This isn't a game. I'm watching a cutscene where I mash A to win. And I'm like, no. What's the way around this? Someone's like, oh, you have to buy 252 herbs from this guy and feed each of those to one of your Pokemon. And you gotta do that each time you want to lower a Pokemon out of this range. I'm like, this is absolutely insane. I would have to farm like 2 hours of pure money farming in this game just to get enough to mitigate this issue. And I'm like, no thanks. This isn't fun
You
anymore.
have to
Like,
work
I thought
impossibly hard to cripple yourself to have a challenge.
I thought I'm like, I can mitigate these challenges and do a playthrough similar to my original Diamond and Pearl. It's like, no, this is not even close. This is fucking baby. This isn't a game. Game is you have to overcome a challenge. There's no challenge here. I'm just watching this shit. I can't. I'm done. I'm done playing this remake. I haven't turned it on in over a week.
Damn. You hear that, everybody?
Playthrough's over. I'm out.
This shit is for babies.
It is for babies. And the fact that they don't, like, this could be easily solved. There was a menu toggle that just says, like, Pokemon will not, like, act up in battle when they're friendly or some shit. Just put it in there as a toggle. You solve the problem. Same thing with the XP share, but it's just the way it is. Pokemon sucks.
Damn. Pokemon. So you heard it here for the 100th time, folks. Pokemon
I'll
sucks.
join you guys back in 4 to 6 weeks when Game Freak starts hyping up Pokemon Legends Arceus, and we could play the same fucking song and dance as always. Where I'm like,
Bro, what
is it
is
gonna
this
suck?
shit?
Is it gonna suck? I give it the hype. I play. I'm like, damn, this sucks.
Yeah.
Except I'm not buying into the hype on this one because I don't actually want to play this.
What did I hear? I didn't look into it, but do you know anything, Freeman, about you can't like you don't battle people in Arceus apparently.
It's weird because like you can also the player can get attacked by Pokemon now. So like the rules are out the window with this one. It's interesting. I'm gonna follow it closely. I'm not playing this at launch.
Yeah, I figured.
We'll see. They've been keeping shit like under wraps ever since that first awful trailer came out. So like hopefully they made it
It
less
was
shitty.
it was a real bad trailer.
I don't know. It's just like Game Freak is just not meant to do these large scale games. They need to go back to making like 2D pixel games.
They,
Like, I was
they
watching-
need to just do better.
Like I'm watching this one YouTube channel where he just does retrospectives on entire game series, and he was doing one of the Pokemon like gens every couple months, and he finally did Gen 5. And I forgot how ambitious Game Freak was back then and how much they got like punished for it. And I feel like a lot of the current problems with Pokemon all stem from Black and White, that gen just being a disaster. When it didn't have any right to be that poorly received. Anyway, whatever. Pokemon Pity Party's over. I'm done playing this game. Let's not think about it for a couple weeks.
Yeah, go play Heart Gold or Soul Silver. That shit's a banger.
For real.
True.
You versus the game they tell you not to worry about.
Yo.
Yeah, for real.
Well, on a semi-similar note, I can't directly transition, but you know.
Oh, you mean the game they tell you not to worry about?
Yeah,
Yes, perfect
so-
transition.
So, you know, for a little while now, ever since Magic Arena came out, I'm sorry, Tyler, but this is again stuff that is not directly Magic related. It's fine.
It's about
It's about
the
you know,
economy between a physical card game and a digital card game and how they
So-
interact.
we talked a little while ago about how Magic was starting to introduce cards specifically put into Arena that are only in certain formats in Arena and are specifically take advantage of being in a client that is electronic, like conjuring random
Do things like
lists of-
creating cards you don't own or something.
creating a card you don't own from a list that exists and can be changed at a whim. Cards that perpetually affect cards, no matter what zone they go into, which is impossible on paper. But this was kind of a shorter term experiment. Not experiment, but we got some of these cards, and that was it a few months ago. Then Wizards announces last Thursday, I think, Friedman, that coming this Thursday, 2 days after we record this, is a new format and new changes to Arena, a new format called Alchemy, which is the standard card pool plus every set. I didn't know this, Freeman. Every set release is now going to have about 60 digital only cards for Alchemy along with the standard cards.
All right, I did not know about that part. All I thought it was going to be is anytime something gets banned in standard, which they're basically announcing is this is a new thing that's going to happen all the fucking time. Constant standard bannings just built into the format, and we're going to have a separate format where all the cards that are banned are rebalanced that they're not banned.
So
and that's what it
this
sounded
format-
like to me.
This format is going to be consisting of cards that are legal in standard, including tweaked and balanced cards that are in standard, so rebalanced versions of cards that exist differently in paper, and these custom cards that are coming out multiple times a year, it sounds like. Not directly with each set, Freeman, but within 2 months of every set, there should be a new batch of Alchemy cards. And these cards will also, I don't know if the digital only cards are legal and historic. I think they will be, but definitely the updated versions of these cards will be legal and historic, which is kind of the eternal format of Arena.
Oh, interesting.
So this is nuts because this is basically Wizards saying, look, standard
Historic is not modern, is what they're going with
historic
here.
is never going to be a paper format. We already knew that, but they're doubling down. Standard is clearly not working on Arena. Like, if you compare
Yeah.
Arena Standard to like actual fully digital card games, it just doesn't hold up because it changes every 3 months when a new set comes out, and within 2 weeks it's solved.
So
and it's
I
just
saw
not
I saw a
fun.
pretty good article on this that the arena changed the way Magic is played. It used to be that at most people would go to Friday Night Magic, play 3 games, and you play maybe 2 to 3 more throughout the week as you went along. People now play 15 matches of standard per day on average. So the amount of standard being played is so much larger than it was pre-arena that they can't let arena be restricted by the limitations of paper. Because it just constantly risks killing the digital game.
Mm-hmm.
Which at this point they've acknowledged it's its own thing.
So basically, Commander has been taking over paper for a while. Like if you want to play serious paper formats, you play Modern, and if you want to play serious casual formats, or like you know what I mean, popular casual formats, you play Commander. And Wizards is clearly seeing that effect and is like, okay, we want to have Standard because Standard has existed since the beginning of the game. Standard has been some format of the most recent sets is what we've had. But paper is just never going to... Standard is not going to be fun anymore for anybody. Modern is so big and so diverse, and we print Modern Horizons sets, and we have all these other things going on. It's clearly people fucking love Modern. Like, Modern... You can argue if it's good. Modern has never been close to dying, Friedman. I don't think ever. Not seriously. Friedman?
I think everyone's just kind of freaking out over nothing, to be perfectly honest.
Well, so a lot the community's gut reaction was, "Oh my god, the sky is falling. This is the worst decision ever." But I think honestly, like this is the only thing Wizards could have done to try to double down on the nature of Hearthstone, Legends of Runeterra, and all those games that actually keep people playing these card games digitally. You have to be able to evolve your game, and before this, without banning cards in Standard, that wasn't possible. So now they are tweaking real printed cards to have different versions in digital, and it feels weird, but honestly, you know, we've been making a meme out of it for a while. The Magic community certainly has. Not every product is for everyone. And this clearly means, in my mind, I will never play Arena, period. Because what's the point? It's a different game with the same rules. I'll just stick to paper and play Commander forever. And that means when Standard
too many people want Arena to just be a digital version of the paper card game and not just be a good digital card game. And I think once people get past that and you realize Wizards has to be with the other digitals, they can't forever be shackled to pretending to be paper online when they explicitly don't want to be paper online, and a lot of their player base doesn't want it either. Yeah.
Hey, man. Whatever. If they want to eat themselves.
It's fine. Sky's always falling. It's a lot of fun.
But the thing is, they're not. Like,
Are they not?
I mean, if you think about 60 new cards that have to be balanced and go through design, as well as new pieces of artwork for all of these, like, this is not... If you think about a Standard set has about 250 cards, 200, more like 230, 240, and they're not even necessarily all new cards, but usually they're new art. It's not an... You're talking about adding a quarter of the cards in usual sets, and obviously there's plenty of... There's been I can't remember. There's been posts on the Magic subreddit over the past few months of people who are like, look at how many new cards have entered the game, period, and like the number has exponentially climbed in the last few years. Because we used to get like...
There's so many sets now.
I mean, Friedman, even when we were starting to play the game, there were 4 Standard sets a year, a Commander set of four or 5 decks, and like 1 or 2 supplemental products. Like Conspiracy was like the one product in the year. We drafted Conspiracy on our camping trip like, what, 4 years ago?
Yeah, everyone got mad when Commander became a permanent supplementary thing. So it was that and one other set per year, which alternated between like Modern Horizons and one other before they started making all these permanent fixtures.
3 supplemental sets. Every set gets Commander decks. There's also like Commander stuff on its own. There's
Morrow asked if we want Modern Horizons once per year, up to twice per year, and it's like, what the fuck? There's too many cards.
There's so many cards coming out, and it's clearly just cards are being printed for more specialized people.
Yep.
So it's definitely a big wild change. Like, I'm looking at these cards and I'm like, man, the only thing that sucks is you look at some of these designs and you're like, this could have been so easy to tweak so slightly and work in paper. Like, this is clearly a design someone probably had lying around somewhere and was like, we could make this we could make a digital card out of this. Like, I wonder how much of this art is art that's been sitting around for years. Like,
so they just didn't make the cut,
and just never made a cut, and someone was like, "What if we just tweak this design slightly, and it's a digital card." But yeah, it's wild, it's crazy, it's Friedman, are you going? So you're the one person I know who plays Arena. None of my like Ohio buddies.
Just to clarify, I forgot what my password was a while ago, and I'm too lazy to reset it. So I haven't logged in since
Amazing.
I think it was whatever. It was right before the D&D set is the last time I actually logged into Arena. So I've been out for a while. I just accepted my whole collection is just not going to be able to play in standard for the most part by the time I come back. So I'm just waiting until the next time I have an urge where it's like, I want to play this standard, and I will jump back in. Because I have enough wild cards to like build a deck next time I go, but I haven't opened it in months.
Well, does this make you want to? At all?
Kind of. There's nothing is worse than the fall set coming out and saying, I have 4 months of whatever the fuck is tier 1 right now. With no change. So the idea that there's going to be another format I can play that has a slight update a month in would be cool. I don't know. The fact that it's changing more frequently means, you're going to have to spend more to get more wild cards if you're not saving them.
That's what a lot of people are like. The darker side of this is Wizards is just using this as an excuse to make people spend more money. Because if you think about it, if they ban a card in Standard, they can just go, yeah, but it's still legal. Elrond's Epiphany is still legal in Alchemy, so you can't really justify getting a wild card back. Like, come on. Why would we give you your money back for a card we banned?
Them being stingy about the wild cards is kind of annoying. Like, it's just 4 cards, dude. Calm down. Anyway. Enough Magic.
What? I don't know what. I don't know what.
You're the Final Fantasy 14 player in this group, right?
Final Fantasy 14. So, Endwalker dropped today officially.
Endwalker. Oh yeah, I'm surprised you're here.
Yeah, right.
About that.
Oh, right.
The times.
So,
are you in a queue right now, Aiden, waiting to get in?
I have been in a queue since 5 o'clock.
Oh no!
Wait, AM or PM?
PM.
Okay, I figured, but I wanted to make sure.
So,
how many fucking people? I'm sorry, and just how many people left work and all tried to get like? I bet you if you'd taken off work, you would have been in.
I probably would have had to do it. I probably would have had to log in at like noon if I wanted to do that.
Anyway,
so Endwalker officially released today. However, for anybody that had pre-purchased it, they had access from the 3rd, I believe.
That's why people are already talking about it in login times, even before the
official release of Final Fantasy 14 Endwalker. There has been like just constant congestion issues.
Oh no!
So the Yoshi P, the producer for the game, put out a letter 3 days ago, basically detailing everything that's going on with the connection issues and what they're doing about it. Surprisingly, like, just a very out there, like, hey, this is what's going on. Not something you see very often, especially from Western developers.
That seems like a running theme with these guys. They've seemed like they're really open on this team.
Like, I mean, they have, like, they even gave everybody, like, the times of peak congestion if they wanted to try and avoid them.
And everyone's like, that's when I'm fucking working, guys. I have to do it.
So yeah, they cover all of the errors that are going on. The biggest one being error 2002, which is just an overflow of the just the login server, not even specific servers, just the login server for all of Final Fantasy. So every time there's more than 17,000 players trying to queue at the same time, you just can't play the game. And this is just pretty much constant.
Suffering from success.
They really are.
Man, what are we gonna do with all this money?
We started just giving it away.
I tried
just watched that episode.
I tried burning it. We tried throwing it away.
Pretty patties, pretty
patties.
So yeah, needless to say, also if everybody recalls, there when the great WoW exodus occurred, right? And we had login issues occurring when Asmongold started playing the game, and like just a bunch of people were over there, and a whole bunch of people started streaming it. They took steps then to mitigate those congestion issues by they enabled the timeout for people that were AFK, which they didn't have before, which is kind of wild to me. But now, like that system is just the most hated thing for people now, because it's like you wait 1 second too long for something, and it's just like, well, here's
take
another
the
3-hour queue.
Cycled back in.
But
you
like,
thought.
yeah, basically, they went on to say like they're currently working on investing the tens of millions of dollars that they said they got from Square Enix approved to add new servers.
Busto.
So they were like, "Hey, we're sorry. We're giving out free game time. Like, this sucks. We're trying to fix it."
And I'm sure
And I respect that.
those servers are not easy to get right now.
Mm,
Like still the
absolutely not.
COVID server lacking.
Yeah, the chip shortage is real.
Hold on, they're not using AWS for any cloud hosting, are they? Because AWS has been like a large portion of it was just down today.
I don't think so. I'm unsure actually. I haven't looked at if
Apparently,
if
like
they have
Netflix
any
was impacted
backbone
middle of the day by it.
AWS. Well, that's not good. You know, we all moved to AWS to avoid things like that happening. But you know, what's that saying about all your eggs in one basket?
Yeah, like all
But,
the MMO players going to 14.
Dude,
Yeah, kind of like that. And you know what?
Dude.
It's okay because it's a good game.
You know what?
And
It's
it
okay.
sucks that I don't get to
Luigi
play
did
it
it
right
Blizzard's
right
now, but
dying. It's fine.
It's okay.
Blizzard is dying.
It's okay. At the end of the day,
Blizzard is dying.
Blizzard is kill.
at the end of the day, you guys didn't get Luigi, so at least there's one person who's not rushing to play 14.
Yeah, Luigi's on his own. No, Luigi
off-
is free.
He's off.
No,
playing-
he's not free. He's in SWTOR
Yeah,
land.
he's in SWTOR right now.
That's arguably.
But yes, he's free from WoW.
Listen,
Everyone's
he's got the
free from WoW.
shackles off. He still has the comfort. Okay,
We'll see. Okay,
he
let's see
still
if he
sleeps
puts the.
under the bed for comfort.
Yeah, let's see if he puts the shackles right back the fuck on when the new expansion gets announced.
Highly
Let's see if he
doubt.
pulls a Friedman talking about the Pokemon franchise.
Oh
Exactly.
my god.
Time has not proven anyone escaping the black hole.
True.
Oh man.
So yeah, I'm sad. I'm sad that I don't get to play Final Fantasy.
Aiden,
But
if
one
you,
day,
if
one
the-
day
if-
soon.
If you get into the queue in the next like 2 hours, do you think you just call off work tomorrow?
Maybe. I got hours to spend.
Yeah, I know.
I gotta get rid of my PTO.
Dude, I have a
man.
work
This is
I need to burn by the end of the year. I'm like, man, if I had a game I was really wanting to sit down and play, it'd be the time to do it.
Well, actually, funny you should say that. I'm probably gonna get a lot of time in leading up to Christmas, hopefully, because I have that whole week off.
There you go. So maybe when it calms down slightly, you can actually not stress over it.
Yeah. Now's unfortunately just not the time. See, that's not even true. It's always the best. Just being there in the first moments.
fervor.
You know?
Before
When it's
everything's
just like-
known, it's still wonderful.
Yeah, fucking new and undiscovered, and just watching hordes of people just wash over the land like undead.
The whole player
hordes.
base and just 2 maps.
Jesus.
It's just
It's fucking great. Let's see. Where am I at in queue right now? 5,751.
So if you,
Well, I mean,
if you just disappear from the podcast at some point in the
podcast
episode,
ends once his queue pops.
everyone will know
We're
that
getting
Aiden
there.
just was
Well-
sucked into the void.
you know, let's be real here. At the rate that these queues are going, you're still gonna get that. You're still gonna get that experience.
Yo, probably
Yeah.
true.
How many
Probably
weeks
true.
until
everybody
everyone can
else
get
is
in?
stuck here with me? We're all in purgatory right now.
Something misery is better with company.
Right.
Can you imagine if there was like a login queue world where you just like literally it's just a 3 square foot room and you just see millions of avatars shoved into this
Stacks
space.
on. Yeah, let's crash everybody's computer by stacking everybody in a room.
Yo, that'd be kind of funny if you were put into like little waiting rooms. It's like little chat rooms. While you
Yo,
guys
that
are
would be
like,
dope.
What if there was
Yeah.
just an old chat room? Like, hey, you're not in the game, but we have a server that runs just text chat for everybody.
just text
Hold on.
chat. That's
If
what
I
I'm
remember
saying.
correctly, in original Final Fantasy XIV, only one person could talk to an NPC at a time. So people used to actually queue up in the original version, like before A Realm Reborn. So, like, Final Fantasy players are kind of used to waiting. So, like, a waiting room could probably work in game.
Oh, you just reminded me of something actually, kind of tangential. So, Final Fantasy posted the trailer again of the original 14 release, and nobody knows what the fuck it means.
Oh, weird.
So on top of the new expansion and all this other shit happening, everybody's like, there's speculation that like, oh, they're gonna bring back 1.0.
Oh man.
We want that
Oh,
WoW
no.
Classic money.
It's just like,
Oh my
please
god.
no, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it.
If you're hearing this, Squeenix, don't do it. Just don't do it.
Um,
A
so-
Realm Reborn blew up
Speaking
for
of
Speaking of-
not doing it,
Oh, well, I was going to say, speaking of games that are having issues, but these are caused by themselves, not by anybody else. Aiden, Tyler, how's playing Halo
Halo?
Infinite?
It's fucking hard. I suck at this
Uh-oh.
game. I suck at it, but that's not what we're here to talk about. We're talking about Infinite's progression system with its battle pass and how everybody thinks it's ass. And how just Tyler really doesn't give a shit because he just wants to play Halo.
All right, before you guys get into the progression, I'm just going to comment here. Back when, like, during the Halo 2 era, people didn't play multiplayer for progression. They played it because they liked the gameplay.
Oh,
I'll say,
the
what
good
is
old
progression?
days.
And hearing
What is-
everyone scream about the progression makes me sit here and think: Are people not playing for gameplay anymore? Is this it?
Freeman, we've been conditioned to do this ever since achievements. It's that simple. Everyone
know-
goes, here's the thing I'm shooting for, and now you get rewards for going for certain things you're shooting for. So all it is what's the thing that gets me the XP? I don't care about the game.
Damn.
I honestly think if there were no battle pass, Halo Infinite would still be fine. Like people, I think Halo Infinite is legitimately a good game. The thing that I hate about it the most is like having to deal with the battle pass at all. Honestly, I'd be happier if it just wasn't there. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how else they would. I mean, like that's not even true. They know exactly how the fuck to monetize this shit. They're already selling fucking pineapple chest dongle things that dangle from your nipple for
What the
fucking
fuck?
like
Oh
$10.
God.
like
It's true.
it's just they've already so aggressively monetized the game, and then on top of that they're giving you a battle pass with almost no cosmetics in it. There's 20 cosmetics in the fucking battle pass.
Aren't they selling like individual colors also for like
Yeah, they're selling
like
individual
$10?
Like, I don't understand how like we split Bungie and 343 from the same entity, and they both made the exact same fucking mistake.
Hey
Like,
man, it seems like it took Destiny a while to get to making these mistakes.
I mean,
A lot of
true,
positive
but
feedback
they
for
at
all their
least
Destiny
awful
good
decisions.
fixed it.
originally.
So
So
has Destiny
Activision
ever
was the
been
good guys all along.
Yeah.
Activision joined
Oh,
this
yeah.
failing company Blizzard to keep them alive for a couple more years.
Oh gosh.
Goddamn.
No, it's okay.
Like,
Activision
it's
just makes
just-
games like Call of Duty Vanguard that are just objectively bad instead of just having a bad battle pass.
The whole thing is just egregious. It's just too like grossly monetized. Like you're paying like $20 fucking dollars for like basic fucking shit. Like it's just ugh. And then like you go through the battle pass and it's like, oh hey, here's an item that lets you switch your challenges. So you don't have to do all of the annoying ones at the same time. Like, gee, thanks, Bungie. Oh, sorry, 343. Thank you. I really needed that. I'm so glad that you put 60 of those in the battle pass instead of anything useful to me.
Ugh.
Like is it 40 or 60? I think 40. There's either 40 or 60 of the items that just swap challenges for you. That's like, it's like the majority of the battle pass. It's insane.
God.
Like, what am I doing with my time here? Like, I have fun playing the game, but I get out of game and then I get mad having to look at this shit.
Damn.
It's a good game though. The game itself is good, and I'm probably gonna check out the campaign tomorrow when that comes out on.
I will
Battle Pass
not
or
until
Game Pass.
fucking May when we can all co-op it together and not a moment before.
Is May the co-op release date? Or
Yep.
Gotcha.
No, that's what they're speculating for May.
Oh
They're
yeah, it's not
speculating
official
for May.
yet. That's fair.
I kind of feel obligated to check out the campaign.
Go for it.
As long as you're willing to play it again with the group.
Of course. No, I definitely will.
Having not played Five's campaign, I feel no draw to play this until we can all play it for fun together.
I'm literally
fair.
like I would wait to. It's just my buddy worked on a campaign level, and I wanted to.
Tyler, if you have like I said, if you have a reason, I totally get it. If I had played 5, I think I'd want to care about the story and see where it goes. But having not played 5, I have that disconnect that means I can wait.
Yeah. Oh, I want to talk about that for just mention it for a second. It's weird how I went from like, oh hey, like from a little kid, like hey, I like playing this game, to now as an adult, like yo, I know somebody who is working on
Yeah.
the X iteration of this game now. It feels very weird.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What was the
Like, I don't
horrible
know.
thing you said yesterday, like on Sunday when we were all hanging out, Freeman? Oh, that Melee is 20 years old.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
What
We
a
say
piece of
heinous shit like that
say
all the time.
thing to say.
Can we
Yeah.
just put that little nugget of knowledge back in the
Mega
box?
Man X came out in 1991.
Wait, it's as old as me. I thought you said it was 93.
Was it 93? No, I think it's 91.
Because you said 93. Because I remember specifically saying 2 years younger than me.
I think it's 93.
Maybe it's
Because I thought it was the
93.
year that I was born when that came out.
Oh, Mega
right.
Man
Oh,
X.
Just to clarify, so the PS2 is now a retro game console. PS2 is currently older than the NES was when the PlayStation 2 came out.
No,
No! Don't say that. Why did you say
all right,
that?
no, like here's the legitimate thing. I watch Scott the Woz a lot, and this comes up in discussion. Is the Wii a retro game console? And it's like I don't know if I want to have this discussion.
man,
Why
I'm
did
just
you say
sad
that
now.
name? Why did you say?
I'm just sad
Why did you say
now.
that name?
Oh
Why
no.
did you say that name?
I mean, it's a hell of a retro console, man.
All right. You know
What
where
a
things are
banger.
never
What an
retro?
absolute
Japan.
banger.
It's time for the Wii.
Wait, hold on. I just gotta post a meme.
I would try to time that to you.
I don't
Okay.
even care. No,
Damn it.
Tyler, the fuck.
For
Anyway,
those of, should I tell the
Sure.
viewers?
just describe
For
to
the
me.
yeah, I just posted the meme. Most people rejected his message. They hated Jesus because he told the truth.
Fuck you. Freeman.
Anyway, sorry.
Guess
Yeah,
what
Weeb
you have
shit.
to
Let's
talk
go.
about in the news again.
So, all right, we're closing on the end of the season. I think there's like 3 weeks left, so we're gonna start seeing more and more trailers for stuff coming out, but nothing that isn't already big, like Attack on Titan. Most of those things have had their trailers out pretty early on, so there's not a lot of like last minute new stuff happening. But because of the weird airing style of Demon Slayer, the new season 2 finally started this week.
Oh,
Funny
yeah,
enough,
it's
I forgot to
my
mention-
anime list.
On Crunchyroll, it actually is season 2, episode 1 that we watched on Sunday. They did not put.
What the fuck?
Yeah, the Mugen Train redo was not part of season 2 officially on Crunchyroll.
What the?
So it makes
fuck?
sense because if you look at the actual like production listings, like the first 8 episodes were always considered a TV show called Demon Slayer Mugen Train
yeah.
Part is like the actual name of it. So it's treated as nothing. I prefer if they do this as opposed to like the way they're handling the Miss Kobayashi specials, where it's like I have no fucking clue
God.
when this was released, which of these
Some of them
3
are on
shows is a part of.
Blu-rays.
Yeah, it's so annoying. So at least they have that listed correctly.
But anyway, Demon Slayer started.
Arc started. Demon Slayer's already getting canceled on Twitter. All is good in the world.
Wait, what?
What?
The ass slap scene
my
apparently is
God.
causing quite a controversy online. Even though it really, in the grand scheme, we're about to go to a brothel next episode. Slapping someone's ass really doesn't mean all that much in the grand scheme of things.
Yo,
So-
these man, they can go fuck themselves.
So, for Aiden and everyone at home, everyone in our D&D group, everyone that we talk about who isn't here, Leslie, Luigi, Val.
Mega Man X was 93, by the way.
Yeah, and I was going to say it, but then I wanted to change
Just
topics
wanted
because
to-
it was so miserable. We all watch Demon Slayer. It's one of the shows we can all watch in our Sunday night hangouts. We're all watching Demon Slayer, and we're all talking over it because we're just having fun and enjoying getting to see this shit again, including a crying dad, which was amazing. Val
Bitch ass,
rarely,
Mark ass, hoe ass.
Val so rarely will make comments while watching TV.
Oh my god.
And we're watching
this.
the episode, and this character has a girl over his shoulder, and before he drops her on the ground, as Free mentioned, he just slaps her butt. And Val just blurts out in the silence, "That was unnecessary."
Which just added to the comedy of that scene.
The funniest thing.
We all started dying.
Tim's dead just thinking about it.
Oh, is Mike
Took a
done?
shit.
Yeah, my mic had died.
All right, you're good now.
But yeah, I mean, I was dying laughing also. But it was so hilarious. But the first episode was really good. It was great to see swole boys. Jesus.
Dude, everyone's pulling a Deku all of a sudden. Everyone's just way too jacked for their height.
New opening. Freeman, I know we discussed this at least a little bit, but new opening better than the Lisa opening for Mugen arc.
Yes, Aimer always delivers. I forgot she was going to be working on this one.
But
I think
I'm more sad that Lisa under-delivered, and like now we know that it was like I think we were we had talked about whether or not the Aimer opening was going to be back to being good. And like, cause the Lisa opening was just not that good.
Like, the thing is, usually Lisa openings are really good, except for the occasional opening with a high-pitched noise halfway through the bridge. Fate Zero opening, by the way. Either way, it's interesting enough. I'm going to keep watching this. It's Demon Slayer. Just wait for the arc to get in full swing. It's been so long since we've seen new material. I'm curious, like, what the next big hype animation scene is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm curious how it's going to stack up.
They clearly wanted to like get a little bit of action in because we already saw him take down that one rando demon.
Yeah.
Just to get us back into it and be like, hey, remember the water effects? Remember those?
They're cool.
Also, Tanjiro now canon has like the headbutt as a registered move.
This is getting ridiculous.
It's so dumb. Anyway, but yeah, we don't have to talk
I'll-
about it. Or we didn't have it under watched, but yeah, we all watched it and we're all excited and we're all watching it together.
Yep. Next couple of things go pretty fast. They're all just very short announcements. But
Yep.
I don't know if a date was previously given, but Ascendance of Bookworm season 3. They put out essentially the poster for it, so we see what all the new characters are going to look like, and they confirmed an April air date, which I don't remember if we already knew about.
I
but
definitely don't remember knowing that.
we knew it was next year. I didn't
Yes.
know a month off the top of my head, so knowing that it's not the next season, but the one after, that's fine. I can wait
Yep.
for that. This is going to be good.
Hell yeah.
Next one. This one isn't officially confirmed, but a lot of smaller anime news sites were reporting it. It doesn't have an official Twitter post from the company that runs Shonen Jump, but Tokyo Revengers looks like it's going to get a season 2. With the way they did it, that stupid cliffhanger at the end of season 1, and the fact that this is a well-performing Shonen Jump property, that's been trending a lot on Twitter lately for some reason. I don't know. I don't read the manga. But point is, it's pretty popular. So it's probably getting to season 2. We're just waiting for that real official announcement.
With how everyone seems to strike while the iron is not even hot, but at least like there, like started.
That's the problem. Like Tokyo Revengers was a 26 episode show. It had a giant cliffhanger ending, and there was just no news of a continuation, and that finished airing in like March.
Oh,
so
wow, okay, never mind.
Oh, no, maybe not March, maybe just June. The point is, it's been
6
a
months.
while without news. So like they're not really striking while the iron's hot. It's more like, hey, like it's still lukewarm. We putting this in the fridge or not?
Well, I didn't. My analogy was supposed to be more like going after anything that has been touched already, because I know we've talked in the last year or so about people just doing sequels because they're more guaranteed to sell.
Yeah, especially with Shonen Jump properties, because
exactly
they like to give the IP more longevity. Either way, we'll see. But in terms of surprise, out of nowhere announcements, I was going to get a special song to play in the background, but I forgot. Yawamushi Pedal is getting a 5th season. Oh boy. I've been waiting for this one for a while. So Yawa Pedal
claps in the distance.
That's why I actually put this on the show notes after Friedman messaged about it to Val.
I bet it's 2 separate chats just going. I send the same message to every group chat where it's just let's fucking go. Season 5. Real quick recap of what the show's about, and I want to bore everyone here, but like imagine the generic sports anime. It can be about anything. It's all just spirit of competition. And some guys like, let's do this about bike racing. So they had they covered the entire like first year of this guy at school. I think it was like 39 and then 26 episodes. And then they did the unthinkable. They're like, what happens during year 2? Most sports anime cut off here. There's only a couple that go through with it. Like I know Ace of Diamond did it, and they did it well.
I wish Haikyuu would, but it's clearly not gonna.
Yeah, no, they're gonna end with this year, and this is how it is.
It's already over. We know that.
Yes. But like most sports anime do that. So to do a second year is always tricky. The second year wasn't as good as the first one. They animated again. They got 2 seasons of 26. But how do I put this? Like the structure of the big race of the year is always like there's 3 days of racing, and we're right now. They ended the last season like midway through day 2, and that season ended like 3-4 years ago. So we were for a long time. Everyone's like, you know what? The series died down in popularity. There's no way they're going to continue the anime when it like wasn't that big. But over the last couple of years, whatever the official biking organization in Japan has like adopted the main character as their mascot. So the show has been getting all this extra free advertising because of the entire like biking community getting behind this main character as a mascot. So now there's just renewed interest in it. Then they were doing a bunch of stage shows in Tokyo before COVID, and now there's just like, all right, how do we keep this franchise alive? Do we just finish the anime? And they finally confirmed yesterday, yes, they're doing it. So I'm beyond excited to finally get a continuation of the second year arc. And the last one, this one's really small. And it was like maybe 20 minutes before the podcast we heard about this, but there's a big announcement in the Fate franchise. They want to start branching back into doing manga again after just canceling and ending a bunch of their previously running ones. It's weird here. So Fate's Unlimited Blade Works is getting a manga. I want to clarify. This visual novel chapter, not a full fucking game, chapter, has already gotten a movie adaptation. A full-length TV adaptation has already been adapted at least once into manga. I don't know if it was adapted the second time. And now it's getting its own standalone manga adaptation again, like
Damn.
15 years after it came out.
What the fuck?
Yes. But that's not even the weird
Why would
one.
people buy this?
That because Unlimited Blade Works is good, and I'm trying to get you guys to watch it.
Oh my god!
But the second announcement was, hey, Fate Grand Order fans, we know you've liked the last 4 adaptations of our main story. What if we did a manga adaptation of one of our joke events that was parodying Star Wars, but it also really wasn't because it has nothing to do with that? Also, it's the sequel to another event that doesn't matter. Let's make a manga out of this. And I'm sitting here like, why? The whole event was a massive joke. Why did it warrant a serialization? And Fate fans in Japan are like, yes, this is what we asked for. And even I, a Fate fan, don't understand this.
Freeman,
this is just
Freeman. What is the consensus on the Fate? I'm sure there's a Fate subreddit.
They're absolutely they are absolutely insane. And the reason I want to bring this up is, Tim, I already told you, I watched this one Magic unboxing channel, but he also collects other cards, and he started opening patron requests, and one of them was he had to open some Wise Schwartz boxes. So he opened one for the Konosuba movie, and then he opened one for Fate Grand Order. And even he had to acknowledge, like, you guys think Magic fans are insane? Go talk to a Fate fan. Absolute insanity over there. No wonder this product is worth so much. And that's how he opened the video. And I was like, damn, other parts of the internet, unrelated, just like, we don't talk about Fate
See,
fans here.
you keep saying insane. I just want to clarify. You're saying they're excited for this.
Yes.
Okay,
but
cool.
the fact that they want this shit makes them insane.
Well, that's valid, but I just want to make sure that we were all on the same page if they do want this to exist.
Yes. For some reason, they just sort of like, yes, I would love to reread that visual novel chapter for my mobile game, but like add pictures to it this time, not just sprites. It's fucking insane. Anyway, huge drought of news for the Weeb shit. So that's all the news. Hopefully there's more stuff coming up in the future.
Well, luckily there isn't a ton of stuff that was played and watched. I'll take care of my only thing that's only for me, although, Tyler, I keep forgetting. Did you see the movie or no? You didn't, right?
No, I did not.
Okay, so...
we don't watch Marvel movies here.
So, I've talked about this before, but as part of my job, I sometimes have to travel. We've had to skip weeks of the podcast for it before, where I have to travel to a facility my company owns in Virginia. And when I'm there, I always make, I was almost there for less than 24 hours. But if I'm there for a night or two, I make it a point to go to a dine-in theater that's down there and see a movie as a fun thing that I can do one night while I'm there. And Eternals was playing because Eternals has been out for a little while, and nothing else really sparked my interest. So went and saw Eternals a few hours before I had a fire at my hotel. That was great. But finally got to see Eternals, which I will I'll admit I was not particularly hyped for. None of the trailers seemed to do it that much for me. Overall review, what did I give it on Letterboxd? I think I gave it a 3 stars. This movie actually, for a cast of characters, Eternals starts off shockingly strong. They do a decent job making it seem like characters exist and evolve over they've been on Earth for thousands of years. They seem to really go out of their way to like have them all learn. They all learn sign language for one of the cast members who is deaf. They seem to, some of them speak in other languages at various points in the movie for at least a line or two. And overall, I think they do a good job with a large cast of brand new characters being introduced. But I don't know if I legitimately don't think that this was really spoiled for me in any major way, but there's one twist that as soon as like the movie got more than a few seconds in, I was like, okay, this is going to happen. I'm just ready for this to happen. And lo and behold, it did. And the last like 40 minutes of the movie just kind of felt rushed and disjointed in a lot of ways. Things seem to just kind of come together really fast and awkwardly, and people just kind of make snap decisions. It's like it kind of feels like the writers got near the end and they were like, oh, we need this character to be here and we don't know how to work in this character. So this character is literally just going to walk off stage for the final battle. He's just going to be like, I don't really want to get involved.
Damn.
And it kind of makes sense in character and they do justify it. But at the same time, it's kind of like this character has done pretty little throughout the movie. And it feels kind of cheap to just have him be like, yeah, I'm just going to piece. I can't pick a side, so I'll pick no side, which is an interesting take. But then it's also like, yeah, but you're here to see characters be involved. Jeez. There's some other decisions like made at the very end of the movie that are just weird. I really don't want to get into it, spoilers, because this is still in theaters, and Tyler will probably kind of have to eventually see this as part of being in Marvel. I don't know. Maybe not.
No, I plan on seeing it.
Yeah.
I mean, I have access to see it. I just haven't gotten around to it.
No, I get it. I will say it is good. There is definitely some interesting stuff here, and there is a lot of setup for stuff. And Tyler, you've probably heard about the character that gets introduced in the second post-credit scene, right?
Nope.
Do you want me to say?
Nah, it's alright.
Okay, that's fine.
I literally, I don't hear anything. Just for like a reference at this point. I pretty much hear everything through all of you guys. You guys are my news source at this point. I used to look up stuff all the time,
Well,
and now
this is one of those things where I kind of feel like the general grapevine of even just general Marvel awareness would have even leaked out.
oh nah.
All it is
I
all it
haven't even
is.
been to my comic shop in like a month and a half.
No, that's fair. All it is it confirmed a casting rumor for a character unrelated to the Eternals. That's all it is.
Gotcha.
Jeez. But yeah, I mean, there's clearly a setup for a sequel. Other characters that Tyler would almost definitely know are introduced, directly related to the Eternals. And then, like I said, they're also setting up 2 new characters to be in the universe who aren't Eternals and are only tangentially related and are clearly going to do their own thing. But they're just there because we need to introduce 20 hanging plot threads so we can pick and choose whatever we want all the time. But yeah, so Eternals was solid. It was, like I said, considering it's one of those movies that tried to set up a whole team dynamic from the get-go, it did a pretty good job. I just wish we could get I know it's hard, but I wish we could get a movie. I know I said they did a decent job. I really wish we could get a film that really has characters radically change multiple times, kind of over, 5,000 years. It seems kind of hard to be like, yeah, they didn't live in stasis. They were out fighting and doing stuff for that long, but I don't know. Is that unreasonable? Do you guys, or maybe
No.
it's a symptom of how people wouldn't change that much? It would take a lot to make people change.
I get the appeal for a series where you see progression over long periods of time. Like I remember, I think the show was Gundam Age. It was the first one to come out where every like 20 episodes it would jump ahead like 50 years, and like the previous generation would be mentoring the next one.
Or like Vivi.
Yeah, so like Vivi too. Vivi's exactly what we're talking about here,
Yeah.
about this jumping through time of a static character with a lot of changes around them and them evolving to the changes around them. Like I get the appeal of that kind of a story.
I think it doesn't really work in a movie. I know I want it,
They're
but
very rare. They're usually hard to follow along for a singular plot. Like usually you have to break it up into like an episodic kind of thing with it.
no, I think it's very valid that it's really hard to do in a movie, and I get that. I just wish that then why not, with all the TV shows Marvel's doing them, why not make an Eternals TV show or something? I almost could see breaks in this show that you could easily. I mean, heck, every movie is like a three act structure. You could easily find ways to kind of chop this up. Like, what was it? Like,
We
Tyler,
say that, but then we get to talk about Demon Slayer in a little bit.
No, I know, but like, Tyler, like, Falcon and Winter Soldier. You watched that, right? I still can't remember.
Yeah. No, I did. Yeah.
Couldn't that have been pared down a little bit and kind of a movie?
It could. No, it really could have been a movie.
So
Like the whole thing could have like Wanda. I honestly think WandaVision was a movie. I think it was an idea for a movie, and they were just like turn it into a show. That's how I feel. I know Winter Soldier could have been a show for sure. And like I'm watching Hawkeye right now. I watched the first 3 episodes.
I saw the first
This
one.
probably could have been a movie too, honestly. So I don't know.
But yeah, that's my stance on Eternals. It's good. I'd recommend seeing it if you're interested in Marvel stuff that does a lot of cool setup stuff, but it kind of did fall apart for me a little.
Damn. Well,
Anyway,
so much for that.
now
we just
Friedman.
got No Way Home later.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
Well, and that'll be a big deal.
It's time for me to talk about a lot of weeaboo garbage in a row here. So first things first, my new video game obsession. I started playing 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim last week. For anyone who's out of the loop, it got announced that they were making a Switch version with new content, but the PS4 version was like half off for Black Friday, so I was like, fuck it, I don't need new content. So I've been playing 13 Sentinels, and this game is, first of all, this is a text adventure. This is basically just reading. Like I remember jumping in and being like, all right, when's the gameplay gonna kick in? And then I realized, this is a text game.
Amazing.
That's it. There is gameplay. There's the game is split roughly evenly between these expansive story sections and this top-down like tactical RPG style game. And while the tactical RPG side is fun, it's not really challenging quite yet. I might just not be playing on the highest difficulty, or like maybe it'll ramp up when you get later in the story. But it's fun, but it's highly disconnected. So the idea is like you'll play through each map in like the robot combat, and then it'll stop. Be like, hey, you can't proceed until you finish XY's character's prologue. And it's like, well, I don't have that character. I have to play through other character stories, and at a certain point, they'll meet these characters and it'll unlock other ones, and then you go play theirs. And each character's like story section is structured very differently. So I'll just say now, this is a time travel game, and it starts off by being super confusing. The opening scene is 40 years in the future at the beginning of the battle to save humanity. And then the next scene is in 1985 and all the same characters there. It's like, all right, what's going on here? And then you start finding out that they're just jumping all over the place. 2105 is when the world actually ends, but then in 2080, there's some other shit. And to try to make it clear for you, the game puts a timeline. Like there's 4 menus. There's play story, play robot battles, view timeline, and then options. You go into view timeline, all right, cool. Literally every scene they show you in the game, they show you exactly where it fits into the timeline. So you know why characters are doing certain things. Until I notice that a scene happening in 2065 happens before a scene in 1985, and I sit there and I'm like, oh no, there are time loops. Now I gotta piece this together. And the game is using confusion about, what do certain characters know, who is in a time loop and who isn't, are all big points into why everything's happening the way it is. And it seems like from how they structured the timeline part of the game, it seems like they thought out how it's supposed to play out. Every character so far, I'll see a character in 2 different scenes, be like, all right, in this one, they clearly have no fucking clue time travel's a thing. In this one, they are definitely an assassin sent back in time to kill someone. So it's very weird. Tyler, I'm not recommending this game to you, but for people who like reading in their games, you like playing Phoenix Wright, this game's got pretty interesting storytelling mechanics for a text-heavy game. Overall, I'm really loving it. I'm super absorbed and want to know more. So I'm probably going to continue playing it right after this. But so far, I'm having a blast with this game, even though the gameplay is kind of whatever. But this is also going to be one of those games you play it once, then you never touch it again because you already know the twists.
Mm-hmm. Is the game, unless the gameplay is incredible, is it good enough? Do you think?
Yeah. So with the robot combat, if you've played Final Fantasy Tactics or any of those style RPGs, it's not like it's unfun. It just doesn't feel like the most fleshed out system. It's imagine if you're playing a visual novel and every so often hey, you got to play chess right now. If you like chess, you're gonna love this game. But if you're used to more complex video games, you might sit there and be like, why is this mode happening? But they do a good job of balancing it so you don't want to you can't spend too much time in one versus the other, or even with the story mode. There's 13 characters who you're unlocking a story from, and it treats it like Sonic Adventure style, where you'll hit a point in one character story, it's whoa, you cannot progress further until 2 more characters reach their halfway point. It's meant to help slowly ease you into certain mysteries, because there's no one way to play through the game. There's one character who he's you can only do the last bit of his when 9 other characters are close to finishing theirs. So there's no set path when you're supposed to do this guy's story, but for the most part, you should have enough of the pieces from doing other people's story to understand his. And I think it's interesting that everyone will have a different order that they experience the story unraveling for them. So it's kind of cool. That said, I'm not going to replay it and see it unravel differently. But still pretty neat. And this will tie into the next point. I am not playing a single game with real fucking gameplay right now. It's all just reading. Because in addition to 13 Sentinels, the newest big story chapter release in Fate Grand Order, whose name I had to put in the show notes to show you guys how fucking ridiculous these names are getting. I already went through the whole movie saga, but this is a text chapter in a gacha game. It's called Fate Grand Order: Cosmos and the Lost Belt. Lost Belt 5.1. Ancient Ocean of the Dreadnought Gods. Atlantis. The Day to Bring Down Gods is the full fucking title of this story release. That said, it deserves this obnoxious title. The author of original Fate wrote this one. He did a phenomenal job so far. My only problem is this is in terms of amount of text in the story, it's the same as every other story chapter's been, except he called this 5.1 because he's it's too big. I couldn't fit into one chapter, so I just wrote a double length chapter. We'll release the second one later. So I commend him. He's writing these absolute giant novels for a fucking gacha game, and it's good stuff. But at the same time, I'd like some gameplay in my video games. So I'm hoping to get through all this reading and go play something fun. Moving on. Last Friday was the release of the Sword Art Online progressive movie in the United States, and I got to see it on opening night. I'm gonna say first and foremost, don't watch it in IMAX. I think I already complained to you guys about this, but the movie was made in 24 frames per second, and IMAX cameras, I think, play back at 60 frames per second. And you know, unlike the 60 frames per second upscaling on YouTube, there is no smoothing. So every single panning shot was just super jagged. It was just slow drag, and it was really annoying. But the sound system in the theater made up for it. It made, like, anytime they fought a monster, those roars, you could feel it. Like, it actually felt scary sometimes during a couple of the characters almost dying sequences. Overall, good theatrical experience. In terms of story, it's a little weird because they, like, attempt to do very, very minor retcons to the original story to fit in additional characters, to kind of give more plot material to work with for the expanded story of Sword Art Online Progressive. Overall, not that bad. It does change some things. Like, Kirito and Asuna spent a lot of time talking to each other on floor one that never happened in the show. So they're on way closer terms during Kirito's famous beater speech. So I don't know. It changes a couple things, but I think the main idea is not to retcon the original series, but within the scope of progressive, just tell a full story. Either way, none of this shit fucking matters. It's Sword Art. Overall, if you're a fan of Sword Art, this is a very good movie. If you only like the first 12 episodes of Sword Art, you're gonna love this movie because it takes place in the middle of episodes 1 and 2. So definitely go watch that.
Cool.
All right, time for everyone to participate.
Oh boy.
So we all finished rewatching the Demon Slayer movie.
Yay.
It only took us 7 weeks
Hooray.
to rewatch the Demon Slayer movie. And now that it's over, I need to ask you guys, did you enjoy watching this theatrical experience cut up into 7 episodes?
Other than getting big buff Nezuko hilarity, there really was nothing worth this.
Yeah, it was. We gave Crunchyroll free money.
I remember right after watching the movie, I was like, oh, they could have done this as a couple episodes, not thinking they would actually go and literally cut the movie in the weirdest spots to just be episodes. I definitely think this arc, I don't want to say this arc wasn't made for TV. It could have been made for TV, but like it required actual TV episode planning.
They just didn't.
No, it was just hard cuts from the movie.
Yeah, it clearly wasn't.
This sucked. Like I cannot recommend this to anyone over just sitting down and watching the movie continuously. Like, unless someone puts out a compilation of just the after scenes from this particular arc, that's the only, like, positive thing to come out of it.
I'm really trying to think. There was only, like, the one scene with Tanjiro's assassin guy. Remember where I was like, that we watched it and I was like, that has to be new. I don't remember this. And then I went on the subreddit and it turned out like there was like it was like 3 seconds of like him falling out when Tanjiro woke up, and that was it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they made it sound like there was going to be more. They always do. There was like new footage, and it's like 6 seconds of new footage.
Nah, it was just putting the transitions and the openings to kill the time and the credits and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it just paces better. The fact that I still remember when we watched the second to last episode and we started it and we're 5 minutes in and I go, they're going to fucking cut it in the middle of the final battle. And Friedman, I distinctly remember you were like, no, they wouldn't do that. And then, lo and behold, literally the halfway point of the battle, there's a short breather, and that's the fucking hard cut.
So in my mind, I'm like, you know what? The last like 10 minutes of the movie, like right after Tanjiro stops screaming after eating a sword in the woods, like from that scene on, I was like, there's definitely like 10 minutes in the movie, right? They could just put that and then 10 minutes of let's go to the next arc. It turns out there's not that much after he starts crying. It's enough to make its own episode. Like you have like just one scene with the like the Demon Slayer core head guy.
Well, except even this show cut out his intro in the beginning of the movie.
Did they cut the intro?
Yes.
That's right, because it's supposed to flow continuously from episode 1.
Well, yeah, because when you see him, he's walking past all the graves, and that was the start of the movie. That was when everyone's like, holy shit, this movie's gorgeous, because he was walking in the woods. And instead, we start with the Rengoku intro episode and then straight to them on the train.
Hold
There's
on, I'm
no
actually going to
lead-up
rewatch
at all.
the start of this. Does it really just start on the train?
I'm pretty positive episode 2 just started with them getting on the train. Yeah, it recapped them jumping on the train, I think.
All right, hold on, I'm watching it now.
Anyway.
Opening scene is them already on the train.
Yep.
Yeah, damn. All right.
Well, the first time we see them, it was in the movie, but like I said, the movie had them. That wasn't the first scene in the movie. It was just the first time we see the 3 guys.
Yeah. Either way.
I mean, regardless to say, the action is still incredible. Like, the movie still looks good. It's just like, this is now the third time I'm seeing it, and
it's not meant to be
spliced up.
consumed this way.
It clearly was never intended to be this way. Like, I think it's just luck that they were able to pace it out and fit it like that, really.
Yeah, that's probably why they had to just cut a couple minutes. Otherwise, they're like, hey guys, it's 7 perfect 22-minute cuts in this movie.
But
Anyway.
any Hoosers.
Last one I'm going to bring up, because I'll probably get through most of it by the time we record the next podcast. But as everyone knows, the 4th Matrix movie is coming out on Christmas. And my group of fellow Jewish friends who have nothing better doing Christmas always go see a movie. And one of them is like, can we watch Matrix? But one member of our group has not seen any of the movies and insists she will not go unless we watch the whole trilogy before seeing this one. And I'm like, all right. She can watch all 3. She's like, no, our group has to watch all 3. I'm like, God
Are you
damn it,
kidding
I
me?
want to watch the Matrix. So, and she doesn't want to do more than one a day. So for every Friday
my
for the next
God.
3 weeks, we're gonna be watching the Matrix trilogy.
You know, Freeman,
Good
maybe you'll
Lord.
get lucky because 2 ends on such a cliffhanger.
Maybe she'll want to
in
jump
the
right
moment,
into the
it'll
third
be
one.
like, fine, we'll just watch fucking Revolutions.
All right, I'll bank on that and sneak in an early watch. That way they can't say no.
I'm just saying, I think you guys should almost shoot for that because it literally, I mean, you guys remember how 2 ends?
Yeah.
Like, it's literally, here is the teaser for the next movie, guys. There is no question there will be another
Yeah,
movie.
I remember watching 2 and 3 back to back when I saw them. Because I started watching them after they were out of theaters, and everyone's just like, just watch 2 and 3 back to back. It's just a long watch. And full disclosure, I barely remember a lot of the ending of 3. So like, I'm really looking forward to watching
That's
the first one.
okay.
It's actually a good movie, and I want to watch 3 again to remember how the trilogy ended.
Like shit.
I know, but I need to know the details of how that shit ended.
Oh, this is actually, before we get off Matrix, I kind of, so I don't know if you guys saw just yesterday the quote unquote official trailer or the second official trailer for the 4th movie came out. Did any of you
Is it
watch
not
it?
the one they were doing in theaters?
No, it's a brand new trailer. It has
Trailer 2.
Yes. Did anybody watch it other than me?
No, not yet.
'Cause
Oh shit, it's almost 3 minutes long.
this-
All right, hold on. I'm gonna watch it after this.
So I only bring it up because as someone who doesn't really care about the story of the Matrix, because I was never the Matrix fanboy that I feel like people like 5 years older than me were. I don't really care about the plot of the Matrix. It was always so confusing to me as a kid. What the fuck was the point of everything? And I just have I've never had the drive to go back and rewatch it. But anyway, they showed a lot more of what the story is going to look like, and it's almost like this is some weird like, you know how in the Matrix movies they were like, this isn't a spoiler, sorry for spoilers of a 15-year-old movie series,
How
20
dare
years, whatever. There have been previous Matrixes. It seems like this is almost a soft reboot into the next Matrix, but like it's a corrupted reboot in universe. So that's why there's like still Neo and Trinity and all this stuff. So it seems like they're kind of jumping into a new Matrix thing. So that's probably how they are like, Morpheus died and entered in the Matrix MMO video game, but like we're gonna have a guy who's basically young Morpheus. Like, I don't know. There is a lot more story stuff, and it seems like Keanu will get a haircut at some point in this movie, so he won't always be John Wick looking.
Wait, he's gonna get a haircut? No way.
Everyone disliked this.
I'm
I'm
assuming.
I'm fine with it.
I think
I'm
it fits
assuming
the
he
Matrix.
gets out of the Matrix again, right? And then he gets.
And
the
he has no
bald head.
hair.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's the only reason that he wouldn't have hair.
Like if he has his beard in the Matrix, but outside of the Matrix, he's clean shaven.
Yeah.
Everyone disliked this.
I'm fine with it. Anyway,
Any Hooser.
I'll give my full reaction on the Matrix trilogy next time we're back. Maybe.
Yeah, if you get to binge it.
Yeah. All right. Let's close it out. What's the last thing on here?
Oh, the last thing. Oh, I mean, I didn't. I only put on something that I finish. But I'll try to finish up. I started playing Miles Morales and Days Gone, so I'll give my full review on that.
You played original Spider-Man, right?
Yeah, that game was great. I was gonna say
Alright.
I played it in the house, but I was like, oh, that's right. I think you left by the
Yeah,
time I
I
started.
had already
that.
vanished.
Yeah.
Hit that old dusty trail.
Old Dusty Trail. Uh, yeah, that game's fun. Days Gone. I feel like I sunk too much time in it to continue, but I think I don't know. It's iffy. The combat's not really enjoyable.
It did seem a little generic when I watched you streaming it.
Yeah, nor does, and the story also just doesn't interest me at all. It seems very blah and generic so far, so I don't know. I may or may not continue that. But Miles Morales is fucking dope. Does a lot of cool Spider-Man shit. I like doing that. Also, he's got like the cool Venom punch. I know this game has been out for a year, but like I finally have this PS5, so I'm playing it on
Truly
that.
experience it now.
Truly experience it. And so oh no, and I started Arcane since I left.
How far in are you?
Only 3 episodes. I only finished 3 episodes.
Gotcha.
I'm guessing neither of you have moved since we talked about this on Sunday, where Tyler finished the first arc and Friedman
No.
finished the second.
I got too into 13 Sentinels to care about anything else.
Damn.
And then I mentioned earlier I started Hawkeye, so I've been all over the place. And then I saw Encanto, so that's like the only thing I can really comment on that I saw all the way through because it was a movie. It was pretty. I thought it was good. I wouldn't say it was a quote banger, but I thought it was good though.
I think I asked this on
Uh,
Sunday, but just for the sake of everybody here, while I look up if it's the correct movie, how does it stack up to Moana?
I like Moana better.
Okay.
I like Moana better. I think. Honestly, I think the songs were like on par too. I wouldn't say any of them like. Well, like one I thought stuck out really well, like more than the others did, but like not enough to be like, yo, I want to throw this shit on. It's so
Oh
fucking
my
good,
God.
right?
Okay,
It's not like
so
that.
this is so annoying. So Wikipedia's kind of mashed together all Disney animated movies, including Pixar and other studios. So Walt Disney Animation Studios, the last thing they did was Raya and the Last Dragon.
That was a good movie.
Then before that they did Frozen 2. Before that was Ralph Breaks the Internet, and then before that was Moana. So really, if we're looking at musicals, the last one is Frozen 2. And the last movie they did was Raya, which I still haven't even seen.
I like Raya better than this.
That's interesting you say that, because I'm pretty sure Renee and Rachel both said they didn't super love Raya.
I thought Raya was cool because they did some it was honestly just cool. There was a lot of story stuff. Like there were some parts that like were weak, but like I don't know. I thought the character was cool. The movie reminded me a lot of in some sense, not almost literally, but like Samurai Jack.
Hmm.
It was like, you know, X amount of years until since this catastrophe happened, and I'm trying to put back the pieces, pretty much like kind of story.
Mm-hmm.
And like she's trying to navigate this entire world that's been like, you know, fucked up that she bears guilt for. Like I don't know, it's a very deep story, right? Like and I like that with like plenty of world building. Encanto isn't really about that. Like Encanto is more like it's just a family oriented story about this girl like, who's in this very prolific family because, her family has powers she doesn't, and there's some inner turmoil that she's trying to fix even when she's like the only one without powers, and like it's supposed to be like a very like, you know, kind of like feel good like family movie that like you watch with your family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not. I wouldn't say I wouldn't give it points because like, there's definitely some like story bits that like didn't make a lot of sense to me. Um, but the music was all right. Um, Lin-Manuel Miranda, I guess, worked on that. So like I could tell like a
Oh,
lot
you
of it was
guess?
his style.
How could you
I
not know?
for I forgot. I
I'm fucking
completely
around.
forgot. Well, who was it? Like Leslie and Val were like, "That's the whole point of the
Yeah.
movie." I was like, "Oh, fucking bite me!" Like whatever. And like the girl who I went to go see it with, she doesn't know names for shit either, apparently, which is fine. I was like, "Oh, like, cause like when the movie showed up, right? Like beforehand, like they had like the cast, and Lin-Manuel Miranda was like doing his little like talking bits. I was like, oh shit, Lin-Manuel Miranda's in this. I forgot that he even touched this, even though I remember Val saying something about that.
Mm-hmm.
So, whatever. I don't know. If you got kids, you go watch this with them. It's a fun movie. If you like musicals, it's also kind of cool too. I
Okay.
wouldn't say it's a banger. I think I gave it like I think I gave it like a 3.5 on what's it called? On Letterboxd.
Okay.
Yeah. There you go. For all the stuff that I didn't complete, you got a more in-depth review of Encanto.
Oh, hold on, I forgot about the surprise topic I was supposed to throw on the list, but totally forgot
Oh
before the
no.
podcast started. Yeah, no, we have to end on this one because I finished watching the last episode right before we started recording the podcast.
Oh yeah.
But now all three of us have finished watching Vanitas, so I was dragging my feet on this.
Oh,
I
fucking not gay vampires.
I gave it. Actually, I don't know. After that last episode, one of them is definitely gay, and the other one is
Well, no,
definitely.
Oh
that's
yeah, no, one is gay. All right, sorry. It is the story of a gay vampire and a heterosexual male.
But the gay vampire himself is also kind of straight. We're not really
He
sure
might be. Oh no, it's probably no. That's right. You're right. He's
because
bi. The bi vampire.
he kind of has a fiance already, but he wants to goof
Yeah.
around with this guy who's not gay. And by
Yeah.
goof around, I mean suck his blood
Yeah.
and only his blood.
Nah, bro, it's not gay if it's the homie. All right.
So I was
Not
while
gay.
I'm watching, Tim is also following along, and I'm sitting here, and he says something like, "The smell of your blood's intoxicating." And I said, "All right, stop there. Do not say anymore. The fangirls are listening." And then he proceeds to go off about this guy's blood, and I'm like, "No,
Yeah.
no, no,
By
no,
the way,
no, no,
he is the
stop, stop, stop."
character, not me. For
Yeah,
because
not Tim, the main character, but Tim hears me
I
live
don't.
reacting to this.
I don't know. Tim be saying some
no.
sus shit
Also,
sometimes.
Val was watching over my shoulder, Tyler, because she was so like, "Ooh, Vanitas is."
Of course. Of course. Of course.
Because then a few
Anyway.
seconds later, her favorite character showed up on screen for his one scene. So
I expect nothing less.
Anyway, I don't have the heart to tell Val I just don't like this anime that much.
You
Like-
can tell her.
Like, it's not like this is. I would never call this a bad anime because it's not. Animation stellar, voice cast great, music top notch, Studio Bones doing their stuff. What it boils down to is I'm not personally engaged in this story, and this isn't the kind of show where the characters are carrying it for me. The main character is outright unlikable, and Val is aware of this and loves the series in spite of it.
Damn.
But on a
I
show-
like him. I
but
think
I'm-
he's fun.
I
He's got a sense of like he's like Naruto, except like
Wow.
Vanitas is because you know why? I Friedman might like agree with me. Like he's very boisterous. He has like this weird swagger that's super annoying to him, right? And like in a sense, that is annoying and that kind of turns me off. But like there's something else about his character that has a mystery to him, and I'm kind of interested in seeing what the deal is and like how he really came about getting this fucking book and like all these other things, like seeing him go on this journey, I guess, right? Like I'll tell you, because what hooked me was like his reason for what he is doing, right? um like in contrast to like how the world views vampires. And I'm like, okay, like I could probably get behind this, right? And if they kind of like stick with that for me, I think I might stick with the show. Like I kind of like it so far for that reason.
The problem I have is his counterpart Noe has almost no character motivation on his side of it. He's there. He's a guy who's around while Vanitas is doing his thing. Because if
True.
Noe wasn't around, none of the vampires would interact with Vanitas. Because none of them want him to do the thing he wants to do. None of them even care that he's there. And except Noe, who keeps keeping him around, and now everyone cares. Anyway, that's my problem with the plot structures. I don't know why anything's happening. And I almost don't want to stick around to find out why, unfortunately.
Woof.
It depends. If season 2 change, like I'm counting you as if episode 6 season 2 rolls around, you guys like Friedman, you got to try it. I will gladly jump back
I
in.
keep telling you, Val says the next arc is the best arc in the manga that she's read so far.
I know, which is why I'm gonna wait till like episode 3 before I'm like, hey guys, what should I do?
That's fair.
Nah, then when that time comes, just don't listen to her. Listen
Not
to me.
her. You listen to the boys.
That's
Yeah,
what
I'll
he's
say
saying.
listen. Yeah, okay,
that's what he's saying.
listen to the boys. You
'Cause
can't trust Val.
There's an art to recommending anime, and Val's still in the phase where I like this show, therefore you will like this show, which is not always a factual statement.
I don't know. I feel like you guys can't communicate because it's like she knows what a fucking bean is, but you don't, and it's like it's not your
I thought I
fault.
knew what a bean was until she's like, "Yeah, Irwin's a bean." I'm like, "Back up! What the fuck is a bean?" Val?
Yeah, no, it's you. It's something that
Because there's
I
several.
understand.
Like I understand the core definition. When I watch Academia, I know who's a bean
Can
and I know
we-
who isn't.
Is this
No, I don't. Even then, I don't think you know
even?
because
Jesus.
here's a problem. You think everything is too literal with you. You think of things too literally. It's not a formulaic thing that you can just put down. I
know, for
wish it
feel.
was for simplicity. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Okay, maybe you do know.
Like a character doesn't have to physically look like a bean. As long as you want to support them, they're a bean. Is what I've learned. Is the basic gist of it.
Okay, so yeah, you get it.
But prior to knowing that Irwin was bean status, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? He doesn't look anything like a bean. And then she's like, you
He
don't have to look
doesn't
like a
have
bean.
to be.
You just have to be
He
a
just
bean.
he just wants Val just really likes him a lot and wants him to
Anyway, but-
succeed.
And then it took a while to figure out, like, oh, this. I don't want to get hurt, so I'll max out my defenses. Is actually a bean show, despite not actually having real
Fucking
struggles in it.
Christ.
Anyway, I get it. Is Vanitas a bean show? Is that what this is?
I
To
mean,
her.
Noe is literally as such a bean. Val
Yeah, he's a
cosplayed as him
bean.
for fucking.
Whatever. It's not a bad show. I just didn't like it. That's where that's where I am on this debate. I understand the appeal of it. It doesn't feel like other vampire anime, which is good because every other vampire anime has that kind of aesthetic to it that is very hit or miss with people. Whereas this had a design all of its own.
It's okay. You know why, listeners and Friedman? Because not everybody has to like everything.
What? Impossible.
Impossible.
What's
know-
impossible is that episode 140 of the TNT podcast is coming to an end because it's
Yeah, let's
after 10 o'clock. Let's get
let's-
off.
let's wrap it up here. We're out of stuff to talk about, and I don't want to talk about Vanitas anymore. So let's.
Fair enough.
I don't even want to
Let's-
talk to you guys anymore.
Gee,
Yeah, well,
that's
likewise.
honest.
For real.
Let's cancel this podcast permanently, shall we?
Podcast
Hell
canceled.
yeah.
140. It's a good long run. See you
Also,
never again.
Aiden hasn't
losers.
been talking, and I'm assuming.
Aim did the
Bro,
cube.
I'm still waiting in my fucking queue, alright?
I was about to say, like, I don't know. I was like, oh, he's probably playing. He hasn't said
Nah, if
anything
he
in a
had,
hot minute.
if he'd gotten in, he would have just dropped hard.
Yeah, bro, what? I would unceremoniously
Yeah,
You
Aiden
just
would
you
be
need
like,
a
fuck
cube
out
to
of
leave the
here.
server.
Aiden would literally be like, "Q popped, click."
I mean, like, I could
From
have.
the server.
I would have talked about how I was, I had played Final Fantasy 14, but I'll let you know when that happens. I'll let you know.
So check
Yeah, we'll
back in
come
2
back in
weeks for
another
when Aiden
5.
has
This episode where it tells you if his second time queuing was better than the third time queuing.
Yeah, let's wait
Hell
till
yeah.
we'll be back in 2 weeks when Aiden is still in queue and now up to 1,000th in queue for finally playing this expansion. But until then, my name is Timpedia.
I'm Friedman.
Just Tyler.
I'm Aiden.
And we'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for listening.